On May 24, 1940, the German army was just days away from crushing its enemy completely. Then, one single order was given. And because of that order, World War II took a very different path. By the spring of 1940, Nazi Germany had launched a lightning-fast invasion of Western Europe. France was collapsing. Belgium had fallen. And the British Expeditionary Force, nearly 340,000 soldiers, was trapped on the northern coast of France, near a small port called Dunkirk. German armored divisions had moved faster than anyone expected. They had broken through Allied lines and reached the English Channel. From a military perspective, the war in the West was nearly over. The British Army was cornered, exhausted, and vulnerable. Most history books explain what happened next very simply. They say the British forces escaped due to bravery, luck, and a massive evacuation effort known as the Miracle of Dunkirk. But what textbooks often fail to explain is why the German army did not finish the job when it had the chance. On May 24th, German armored units were less than 20 kilometers from Dunkirk. They were advancing rapidly and facing little resistance. Then the order came. German tank divisions were told to stop advancing. For nearly 2 days, the most powerful armored force in Europe stood still. There were no strong defensive lines in front of them, no major counterattacks. The enemy was exposed. This pause was not caused by the weather. It was not caused by fuel shortages. And it was not a battlefield accident. It was a deliberate decision. The Halt Order allowed British and Allied forces time they desperately needed. During those crucial hours, defensive positions were organized, evacuation plans were accelerated, and hundreds of civilian vessels were mobilized. When German forces resumed their advance, it was too late. The Allied evacuation was already underway. Over 330,000 soldiers escaped. Soldiers who would later form the backbone of the British Army. This single pause prevented the complete destruction of Britain's land forces. Because the British Army survived, Britain remained in the war. Germany failed to force a negotiated peace. The Battle of Britain became possible. Without Dunkirk, there would have been no defense of British skies, no later invasion of Normandy, no Western Front as we know it. The war might have ended in 1940. History often turns not on grand battles, but on brief moments of hesitation. A pause, an order. A decision made far from the front lines. At Dunkirk, the war did not change because of strength, but because someone chose to stop. And the consequences of that choice reshaped the modern world.